Welcome to the stream. Last time on Touhou LostWord, we looked at the first half of the third act of the third chapter of the main story of Touhou LostWord. And today, we will be looking at the second half of the third act of the third chapter of the main story of Touhou LostWord. Surely things will not get any worse for our main characters. Last time we met a lot of sages of dubious characteristics in the lower world of the Hakurei Arena parallel universe of Gensokyo. And people seem mostly dead or fused into each other. That's weird, right? Today, Episode 10, Ultimate Divine Spirit, Sage Freefall in the Human Village. Wasn't it a freefall in the village at the end of the previous episode? Oh well. We also have someone we want to meet. Our little sister. Well, technically we are not related, but she is our dear little sister. I wonder if that one is in this game somehow. That would be interesting. Then again, they would have to make a completely new design for her. Oof. Hermits are tough cookies. Guess appearances can be deceiving. Will my spirit's rank go up if I eat your flesh? I've never tried anything like this. You're strong as a horse. Alright. You are a horse. Was that supposed to be an insult? Now that we are tussling, you're much weaker than I imagined. I heard that you are as tough as an old shoe leather. You seem more like a bookworm. If I'd known earlier, I would have done this ages ago. That's why I've always fought with bullets. But I've never been on the back foot in close combat. Until now. Well, a hermit who can't trance death is no match for me. Not even when both of us are spirits of the dead. So, why today of all days? What's forcing you to forgo your usual bullets? Looks like your little companion is having a rough go of it. What's wrong? Is this all you've got? You're rock hard and don't taste like anything. You're dull and dry, flavorless. This is what you get for eating only soft meat and spirits. Had you trained your jaws, maybe you could have won. But you're just a weak corpse. Bonk. And you're a meanie. I get the feeling this has turned into our own fight now. Maybe this is a good thing for us? No, this is just as bad. Sega Nyan is still one of the sages of the lower world, and thus absolutely necessary to our cause. What do you mean? Regardless of the reason, we have to stop those 3 sages all at once, correct? This is getting irritating. Let me assist. No, I cannot allow that. Your and Li Huan's safety is of the utmost importance. Ah! The Sage of the Hidden Arrow, Menreiki. The Sage of the Rotten Lamb, Kurokoma. I have faced them many times during festivals, and thus know them well. Allow us to handle them. Ah, I see. That certainly makes sense when you consider the affinity of skills. I will take on the Sage of the Corpse Dog myself. And once we are done, it will be your turn, Miss Okina. Understood. Now then. Let's go. I thought you were going to say Namu-san. I knew it. No matter how powerful your techniques are, you can't use them when I've got a hold on you. Physical strength is what really counts. Nothing comes close. So you say, but you can't even summon your underlings. Go on, call them, see what it gets you. Oh, if you're still trying to get the last word, you must have some energy left. But I won't fall for your tricks. You may be surprised to learn that my overall power is higher when I'm on my own. I'll crush you to paste, that way. It will take you longer to revive than if I didn't do the job right. Bye-bye. You were supposed to be hiding in the mountains. Get her! Golden canopy rope! Ah! Golden canopy rope? What kind of mind have you merged with? And more importantly, why can't I move? It's like I'm bound with an invisible rope. Not like it'll stop me from ripping free, though. Resistance is futile. You'll be in pieces before you even free yourself. Pure strength even holds out that long. What's going on? This is just like when I fought Kicho. Even my willpower is being drained. Taming animals is my primary ability. I hold the reins now. And the more like an animal you behave, the stronger my ability affects you. You can't eat us. It's impossible. How pitiful. Didn't I tell you it's meaningless? Enough! Keep trying to bite. That's what you want. I'll slam you against something. I'll be careful not to damage your body. And only wreck you on the inside. You, the puppeteer from the hill. You're my marionette now. What? Magic threads for the manipulation of inanimate objects. How have you concealed this until now? Concealed? Don't be silly. You simply never let me get this close to you. My mastery of puppet magic doesn't mean anything if I can't get within the proper range to use it. Now, since you are an inanimate object and you have a human form, I'd say you'd fit in nicely as a doll. Taking advantage of the chaos to reach you wasn't such a bad idea after all. Both masks and horse are bound now. My goal is within reach. Going somewhere, Sage of the Corpse Dog. Stay out of my way, Sage of the Shadow Sparrow. I don't know about any other versions of you, but the you that is here is vulnerable to physical attacks. Thus, your defeat has been certain ever since you let me approach you. What a joke! I'll summon as many spirits of Preta as it takes to possess you. And I'll dissolve your body, and then I'll... No. You'll do nothing of the sort. You did it! You stopped them all! Amazing. Sega Nyan Nyan was after Li Huan's body, but we probably don't have to worry about that now. Still, she might have something up her sleeve, so keep a watchful eye over Li Huan, just in case, Yomo. Sages of the lower world, hear me out. I'm certain you already know that everything in this lower world, including you, is part of an enormous system, in which temperaments come together only to separate again in an endless cycle. You must have been repeating your actions for what seemed like an eternity, your thoughts unchanging. However, as you can sense the flow of temperament, you must have realized there has been a shift. The immature form of the Sayo Ayakashi will bring about either ruin or survival for this world. We are currently trying to determine which it will be. No, there is someone who knows how all of this will end. A sage just like us. A special being who has a role just for this occasion. The Lord of Sages. She is the very reason why the majority of us have been specifically chosen as the core minds of sages. In your minds, you can see that this world always ends when the tree blooms. Then the world repeats again and again. However, it can repeat no more. This is the moment where it will move onwards to the future, or perish forever. The Lord of Sages knows the outcome. They know this because they will use Li Huan's body to rise from the dead and use their unique abilities to... I was wondering who that is, but I think I recognize that hand. Isokina, behind you! No, below! Zombies! Oh no, zombies! Have you forgotten zombies? I'm not just a necromancer. I'm the hermit who can pass through walls, Seiga Kaku. Not using Nyan Nyan now, huh? Or I guess it's just Okina that calls her Nyan Nyan. Such an obstacle is nothing to me. What? Digging technique! How could you make such a huge hole in a split second? Where's Miss Okina? Okina is gone. Guess we're gonna go drink. Ah, did I pass out again? Look, Miss Yomo is awake. Wow, that was even faster than before. They don't even worry about me anymore. I'll take this as a sign that they've gotten used to me about me obtaining mines. We were watching the phantasmal sight you projected, and we finally confirmed our suspicions. but we should put that aside for now. We need to assess the situation and sort out what we know. It's interesting that they didn't show the site to us this time. We don't have much time left, right? Yeah. The day when Yuyuko causes the incident is today. Then it's a matter of hours until we confront her. Nothing like urgency to jog the memory. And the fact of the matter is that Seiga abducted Okina. That moment. She also took Mei and Satono with her, because the three of them comprise one god. Things are only going to get rougher without Okina by our side. To put it bluntly, we're in a pinch. I wanted Reimu to be the one to break this news to you, but she refused. She and Sakuya are off slowing down Yuyuko. First, they were keeping her busy with games of Go and the like, but now they're pretty much physically restraining her. She wants to get to the cherry blossom tree as soon as possible. But maybe Alice can explain the situation better than me. It's not like I know everything. And while there's no denying you act like an idiot in battles of bullets, I actually think you're rather clever in these sorts of situations. Or at least that's how my mind remembers you, Marisa. That's about the most polite refusal I've ever heard. Well, guess it's up to me after all. Next, I'd like to go over our allies. The place is small, so please call your Bunrei off. I'm sorry, but you too, Mioi. Go back to Byakuran. Alright. Okay, that's that. I'll start. I'm Marisa Kirisame. Reimu Hakurei and Sakuya Izayoi are also with me in the upper world. The three of us and Li Huan over there came from another world. Hello, I'm Li Huan. I was in the upper world, but now I'm down here. I came from the upper world as well. However, up there I am a dweller of Hakuyokuro. Lady Yuyuko Sayoji, who's waiting in the upper world, is my mistress. Other than that, in the upper world we have the Sage of the Clear Spirit, Ran Giacomo, and her assistant Chen. The Sage of the Secret Essence, Aya Shomemaru, and the Sage of the Brilliant Light, Nitori Kawashiro. Everyone I've just mentioned is a dweller of the upper world. As for visitors from other worlds, we have the Prison River Sisters, Lunaza, Merlin, and Lyrica. They are all poltergeists. There's also Cheno, Deusei, Lily White, Sunny Milk, Luna Child, and Star Sapphire. The fairies are also from other worlds. I cut them all in order to get out vitality, and honestly, there were countless others in the past whom I cut as well. They've turned into those cherry crystals Li Huan's holding. I'm sure they haven't disappeared yet. Now let me briefly explain what's going on in the upper world. Yuyuko always tries to revive the Sayo Ayakashi, which will also ultimately result in her demise. And unleash the Sayo Ayakashi. We don't know what will happen after that. Safe to say, it won't be good. We've heard the tree is a greater yokai that not even Yukari Giacomo can handle. Yomo's been cutting through space-time over and over to prevent Yuyuko's demise. Call it a super technique, I guess. Yomo kept cutting, and as a result, temperaments were shredded to pieces and accumulated down in the lower world. This is all probably due to the fact that things cannot be restored to how they were by cutting them. It's irreversible. This concept sometimes appears in relation to magic too. Anyway, no matter how many times she tried, Yomu couldn't prevent Yuyuko from vanishing. It also turns out the cycle can only repeat so many times. Yomu realized this while observing Yuyuko. And to top it off, this here is the last chance apparently. Yes, I'm certain of that. Then, an odd Yukari appeared. She was soon joined by a blue Reimu too. Yomu decided to assist in a solution proposed to her by this Yukari. Namely, to grant enough vitality to the Sayo Ayakashi before Yuyuko revives it, so it changes into something else. The thing is, this world lacks the energy to carry out this plan, so more must be gathered from neighboring worlds. Thus, Hakugyokura Arena was established as a means of collecting vitality from those who lose matches. All of this vital energy will be restored to normal when the Sayo Ayakashi incident is solved. This plan is based on that odd Yukari's claims though. We don't know if it's true, and she is being mysteriously absent. Still, we didn't have any other option that seemed more reliable. Our only choice was to go along with what that Yukari proposed. And that was a problem in itself. The gathered life energy wasn't even remotely enough. This could very well be a mistake by Yukari, but we can't confirm that since she's nowhere to be found. As usual. So we decided to head to the place where Yomu sensed a great mass of vitality, the roots of the Sayo Ayakashi. That's why Yomu and Li Huan followed Okina to the lower world. From there, they met me first. I'm the sage of the drinking thief. You can call me Kazunibaraki, since she's the core of my mind. I've been living in the village of the drinking thief, halfway up the Yokai mountain, where temperament settles. My bunrei are Kishin. We want to know the truth of whether or not we can make this world persist. And if we learn that we can, we'll make it so. This is why we decided to accompany Yomu and Li Huan. Next up is me, the Sage of the Flying Poison. Likewise, you can just call me Alice Margatroyd. I've been living on the nameless hill with my dolls, changing temperaments into lilies and gathering rare earth elements. My bunrei are dolls. We want to bring back the other worlds that our minds have seen. The festivities of the lower world are a travesty. I hope to restore some sense of true life and death. Sage of the Shadow Sparrow, Byakuren Hichiri. I have lived here in the Shadow Sparrow village, formerly the human village. I've protected yokai spirits and also crystallized temperaments into shapes of the moon and snow. My bunrei are mysterious spirits. I dream of a day when we can revive the temperaments of those buried under the snow. We absorb the human's information so that we can live. Is it greedy of me that I see this as miserable? I'm the Sage of the Hidden Arrow. You can call me Hata no Kokoro. We desire the weak magic of humans. The expressive poker face, Hata no Kokoro. The magic imbued in tools. Our festivals are meant to release the temperaments in the Shadow Sparrow village. My bunrei are fading souls. We survive by picking pieces of magic from the vortex of temperaments. We wish for the human temperaments to regain their original shapes, if such a thing is even possible. I am the Sage of the Rotten Lung. I'd feel at home if you called me Saki Kurokoma. We are beasts. We crave human flesh, so we've wanted to release the temperaments in the Shadow Sparrow village. My bunrei are animal spirits. Our kind needs to eat in order to become stronger and gain in rank. We don't have any lofty goals. We simply don't like it when the world is like a cage. Alright, now this all makes a whole lot more sense. Some of you want to protect humans, some want to revive them, and some want to eat them. Your goals all differ slightly, so it's only natural that you are constantly at each other's throats. You make temperaments disperse during festivals and then solidify them again with mundanity. This repetition makes the lower world go round. You are sages meant to preserve this order. I want to know who created the sages in the first place. Right. To make an educated guess, we need to recall what Okina was talking about. Probably the Lord of Sages? I heard it only through our communication link, but I think it went something like this. The Lord of Sages will return to life using Li Huan's body. It was pretty out of the blue. Since I'm corporeal, return to life, that's their goal. I think our only option here is to ask this Lord of Sages directly. But I did figure out why the lower world is kept in a state of temperament storm, cold vortex and magic cauldron. And why is that? To manipulate memories by using minds. When the sages fight each other over and over, the temperaments, and thus the entire lower world, swirl. The Lord of Sages is hiding somewhere, bodiless, and they can meddle with temperaments thanks to the storm. I suspect they have removed any minds related to them to keep the sages playing their parts in ignorance. They manipulated minds to keep the sages working, and keep the sages working by manipulating minds. But isn't that just going round and round in a circle? It seems kind of meaningless. Well, yeah, you do have a point. What kind of ability must the Lord of Sages have to be so good at manipulating minds? Well... If the Lord of Sages keeps the memories about her sealed, then why did Okina start to remember some sages? Some things. Speaking of which, Miss Okina was taken away. So does anyone else know where we are meant to be heading? I've never seen anything resembling tree roots here. Was there a place like that somewhere? But first off, who is this Lord of Sages? Wait, hold on. We've got an answer to that last question at least. Yomu received that mine a little while ago. Try to remember what the phantasmal sight revealed. Well, now we are getting to see that phantasmal sight, and I wonder who that is! I never suspected someone might come to see me when I am dormant. Did you trick a Baku or something? Please refrain from pontificating. Now tell me, do you know? A hidden technique to reverse death and raise the deceased. Reverse death, you say? I suppose I can overlook this intrusion into my spirit mausoleum just this once. I can't hear your desires. Oh, could it be? Have you thrown away everything? You and I are complete opposites. Come, there's no need to rush. Look around you. Huh? These two are like my own hands, my confidants. They are accompanying me in my deep sleep. Well, hello there. My revered teachers, esteemed guests from the continent, and yet they have chosen to rest here with me. They are my beloved masks and horse, not unlike burial goods. I love arts and riches, but they are special. What do you think? Excuse me? I throw nothing away, and I never give up. Why don't you try that too? So you're already dead and are waiting for the time you can come back to life. Is that correct? And I assume you know the means of doing so. That wasn't my point, but yes. That's all you had to say. That makes another one. Aha! That was the Lord of Sages! Or a part of the mind they possess, at least. And now it looks like we know who was deeply related to them. But that still doesn't tell us where we need to go. Everything is harder without Miss Okina. Can't you ask the horse or the masks? If only Miss Sega could just come back and hear us out, and maybe point us in the right direction. Haha, wishful thinking. Hi, I'm back. Sega! And Miss May and Miss Satono. Can you come with me? Coming right along. It's time for battle. Today, in the morning, I was very lucky and pulled a character I wanted for a long time. Today, we will be trying her out and maybe level her up along the way. It's Reen! Yes, I pulled a cat out of the box. She didn't like it, but here she is. She might be a little dead. Didn't even look at her voice options yet. But we won't do that on this stream. Reen is actually very good. Despite being a character you can just pull on the standard character banner. This is because she can lower the defense of enemies quite a lot. And also because she has quite strong spell cards herself. The only problem with her is that she doesn't have much accuracy on herself, which is why she's holding this phone on her second card to raise that accuracy a little bit. That spell doesn't do a lot, but doesn't do a lot to an enemy that is fire resistant, but it also burns all the, or I think up to 3 of their barriers with burn barriers, keeping them constant damage. Other spell is not resisted by this enemy. Fire punch! Oh no, catwalk. Yeah, she brought along her worst spell. Or best spell. Whatever you might mean. Sadly, I don't have her last word yet, so that will have to be wait for another stream. Oh good, an enemy weak to moon. That's just perfect. So battles might take a little bit longer today. If she can't one-shot them. I have Miko in the back row. Should things go badly. Or should enemies resist all of the things she can do. But these are weak to fire, so that's good already. Nyan. I find it a bit weird that the wheelbarrow attack hits every enemy and the catwalk hits only one enemy. From the animations it looks like it should be the other way around. How much damage does she take if I don't bury her up? Quite a bit. Oh, I thought that was not the last round yet. Oh well. Yeah, that was a two-wave battle. That's not very usual. Actually, I think we haven't seen Sega's attacks yet, so I guess I'm gonna switch to her in this battle. But first, memories. Where are we? It's so sparkly here. Makes my heart dance with joy. can't believe the ruins of the Myoran Temple graveyard are connected to such a place. Nyan Nyan Donuts! This is one of my secondary senkai. My main home is located somewhere else. Almost everything here comes from the outside world. At first, collecting such things was my hobby. But there used to be a greater yokai who had many unique items. Every single one of them was rarer than mine. Ever since I learned that, I've kept collecting curios, even though time was repeating itself. The horde of that yokai was burned into my mind. I want a collection finer than that. Did you combine with Rinosuke of all things? That's actually kind of cute. It's just a hobby, but it also paid off in a manner I did not expect. These machines from the outside world. It seems they can manipulate chi without the use of magic. She's probably talking about electric circuits. Although it wasn't my intention, stacking them here has changed this senkai into a magic darkroom, so to speak. A magic darkroom? Yes, just as I said. I'm trying to read what the word before cola is here. Shiri? Don't know. Here, we are separated from the storm of temperaments raging throughout the lower world. That means nothing spoken here will reach Lady Toyosata Mimi's ears. Down here is White Rock Creamery. Are you talking about Lady Taishi? Oh, what a silly question, of course you are. Lady Taishi. That rings a bell. I feel a kind of fondness, but also something else. The minds inside your remember Lady Toyosata Mimi, however, you couldn't recall her clearly until now. This is because she has been manipulating our minds with the storm of temperaments. What kind of person is this Lady Toyosata Mimi? Is she a noble? Right, you haven't met Toyosata Mimi no Miko. She's a now forgotten, once super famous person in the outside world. Please introduce her properly. She's a highborn person, also addressed as Prince Shotoku and Prince Umayado. You mean that Prince Shotoku? Yes, she was called that name by future generations. When Toyosata Mimi no Miko was resurrected in Gensokyo, people's desires appeared as countless tiny divine spirits. I think they wanted an audience with Miko, if I remember correctly. It was super annoying. That proves how charismatic Lady Toyosata Mimi is. Spiritual beings tend to rely on her instinctively. Desire spirits emerge from people's prayers and wishes. You could call them a medium of faith. You could also call them small divine spirits, as they are not entirely unrelated to deified ghosts. Well, I don't know about other worlds, but divine spirits here are ghosts that have absorbed many tiny divine spirits. Being a necromancer, Sega knows everything about spirits of the dead. If she says so, then it must be true. Humans, yokai, gods, and Buddhas, only the nature of their soul differentiates them. This complies with my beliefs. Lady Toyosato Mimi can attract and listen to desire spirits. And, as they are parts of souls, they also make up temperaments. I see. Considering that you revealed Toyosato Mimi no Miko's existence after abducting Okina, it must have something to do with the fact you came running back all banged up with Satono and Mei and Tao. Am I right? That's why you went through the trouble of bringing us to this magic darkroom. Yes, it is all as you say. Ensuring the churning of temperaments in the lower world never stops is my duty as the sage of the corpse god. Corpse dog. That is my mundanity, my everyday work. Everything I did was to bring my mistress Lady Toyosato Mimi back to life. Sounds similar to Lady Yuyuko. Alright, Sega. Does this mean you're here? Does this mean you're her subordinate? Put bluntly, yes. That is what I am. Stirring up the temperaments is my mundane work. On the other hand, my special work is to find and present Lady Toyosato Mimi with an appropriate body. My one-time festival that lasts an age. In principle, only spirits of the dead can exist here. Miss Li Huan found herself here only by chance. Despite this, you were looking aimlessly for a body you might never find. Sega, until now, you've been very persistent in your attacks on my dolls. Was that in order to conceptually repair your Xiangxi's body by applying their temperament design? Speaking of which, I don't see Yoshika, the subject of all this tender care of yours. Also, Okina started to recall things about the Lord of Sages. Miko must have released some minds on purpose. Does that mean Lady Toyosato Mimi no Miko is the sage of the filth remover? That's certainly a thing to be a sage of. Her Bunrai are divine spirits. I don't know how it works in other worlds, but at least in this one, Okina Matara isn't an independent sage, but rather a Bunrai of Lady Toyosato Mimi. Hold on a sec. You're saying Okina isn't a sage, but more like Miko's familiar or Shikigami? Not exactly, but her position is indeed similar in a sense. But that doesn't match up with anything Okina was saying. She's on a higher footing than the Tango and Kappa sages, and that alone makes her undeniably a sage. That's because our master lacked a specific mind. She honestly believed that what she said was true. The hole in her memory was filled with legends to fabricate and exaggerate her spiritual connection. Our master's identity as a sage and this old charge from a vaguely remembered master were firm truths to her. We know this best, since the three of us comprise a single divine being. And now Lady Toyosato Mimi has started returning memories from her mind to Okina Matara. This, along with the search for a corporeal body, is to pave the way to recovering her true power. At least, that is what I assume. Huh. You're telling us we've come all the way here just for guesswork? Marisa, I'm surprised you didn't figure it out as soon as you saw that the Jiangxi isn't here. Sega failed to seize Li Huan, so there's only one other body she could offer to Miko. She gave her Yoshika Miyako. Actually, maybe Yoshika was taken from her. I can't imagine Sega parting with her willingly. Furthermore, I don't believe Sega would have cared for Yoshika, as she did only to use her as an offering to Miko. So she likely didn't know that Miko would lay claim to Yoshika when they met. She found herself without a choice. Sega, have you, just like Okina, been able to recall your connection to Miko only just recently? So let me get this straight. Sega snatched Okina to complete Miko's soul, but to complete her body, Miko also stole Yoshika. Am I correct here? Please refrain from speaking ill of Lady Toyosato, Mimi. But Sega, what else could have? You're mistaken. Lady Toyosato Mimi hasn't taken anything from me. She's not that kind of person. She would never do such a thing. I left Yoshika of my own free will, and, addle-brained though she is, she understood what this meant. Master stayed there willingly too. And then she told us to run. Okina did. No, Lady Toyosato Mimi herself. Miko? But why would she do that? I simply cannot see what she's trying to achieve. I've got no idea either, but the atmosphere was pretty scary. Miss Sega Nyan grabbed us and fled at full speed. She left Miss Yoshika behind just like that. Judging by Toyosato Mimi no Miko's actions, she's hiding something. We can't just let her do as she pleases. I've heard that Prince Shotoku helped spread Buddha's teachings. My mind says we have a personal connection. There's one thing we do know for sure. We have to rescue Miss Okina and Yoshika. Now that that's settled, what are we waiting for? Which way should we go? Lady Toyosato Mimi is in a place well hidden by a complicated pattern of turbulent temperaments. The barrier has been strengthened so that once I left, I would never be able to make a return trip. I've got one more piece of bad news too. I called you here to the magic darkroom so that Lady Toyosato Mimi can't overhear our plan. If she does, she will put a stop to it. What she wants is for us to get away safely. But once we leave this magic darkroom, we won't be able to remember what we spoke of here for long. Our memories need to stay in this Senkai, since once outside they become minds that Lady Toyosato Mimi can detect. Nevertheless, we need to remember all the things we talked about in here. That's why I've prepared this special artifact. It's a high-rank hermit tool. If we use it, we'll be able to solve 2 problems at once. If it stops working, just hit it really hard. What are those again? I think I saw one at Korin's place, or was it Muensuka? Or maybe there was also one at my house? Isn't it called a television or a monitor, something like that? Yes, it is similar to such outside world devices, but this one also makes fun of that great yokai. What do you mean? It allows me to do something similar to her cheats with gaps. Miss Satano and Miss May share parts of a single god with Okina Matara. I can use this to project their connection within this artifact. A path to the place Okina Matara's sword will open here. But we'll have to get there under our own power. A gap would seem more convenient here, I think. Well, the fundamental principles are completely different. This artifact temporarily removes the memory from a mind and attaches it to a different part of the spirit. It imitates the auspicious beast Hakutaku, which eats history. Beasts normally bore me, but this one is special. I'll erase the memories regarding this Senkai, as you don't need them, and fill it with the truths revealed here. Miss Mai and Miss Satano, please focus on the memory of the one to whom you're connected. Hakurei Shrine, a strategic point of the lower world, a place where someone related to Okina resides. That definitely seems like a place you'd keep hidden behind a barrier, but now we can travel there. This is just like fortune telling with a crystal ball. There's no one here. No, I sense a presence nearby. But if they are so close and we can't see them, does that mean they are a ghost? You've been dealing with spirits all this time, though. I heard you talking about Hakurei Shrine, so I took over from Marisa. What the? Everything is in shambles. I suppose that's what happens when there's no one to care for the place. This is troubling, though. There's a strong barrier ahead. We'll have to meet with the person in question here in order to bypass it. Sorry for keeping you in suspense. I was shocked when someone just flew over my head earlier, but this time I can fulfill my duty, correct? I can guide you to the big cherry blossom tree. The guardian beast devoted to Shintoism and Buddhism. Aon Komano. Aon! Oh, one of my soldiers, back from Yomi, the world of darkness. Are you a wolf spirit? You are a wolf spirit, right? No, I'm not. Ah. Hello, you're Aon, right? At any rate, it's nice to meet you. Aon the Komaino. Alright, this is Hakurei Shrine after all. I see now. You're the one with a connection to Okina. Yes, I have this shape thanks to Lady Okina's power. She's like a midwife to me. The spirit inside me is a divine spirit that's spiritually connected to Lady Okina's. I more or less understand what's going on. And I'd love to guide you immediately. But I think it would be better to deal with that one first. Huh? What are you... Welp! Looks like I've been spotted. I learned how to take form recently, and I was hoping to have some fun with it for a bit. Aren't you... Eternity Lava? Why would a butterfly fairy be here? The butterfly fairy who approaches God. Eternity Lava. A butterfly fairy? A fairy? Is she a fairy? I was looking for someone to play with to celebrate the fact that I'm now able to move freely. Oh wait, I just remembered something. Hata. A person of Hata. Me? No, not you. Uzumasa. Right, Uzumasa. Hey, you two. What happened to Uzumasa? Uzumasa? I think that's one of the names our master went by. No one has used it in quite some time, though. How boring. Everyone here sees me as nothing but a fairy. This is still my freshly acquired body. It is not much, but I cannot have it dispersed. She's starting to speak differently. So step aside. Having you stand in our way for no reason like this is really inconvenient. Hahaha. The shrine maiden is so amusing. Surely you don't think to escape divine punishment through sheer audacity. Especially those two servants over there. You two being apart from Uzumasa is a transgression. How tedious. Perhaps I let my inexhaustible Bunrai handle this. My Bunrai are the spirits of my dead followers who were all killed by Uzumasa. I've heard about you. You are the god of eternal night, who Dance Master Hata destroyed. Regardless of what you call me, I'm pleased you finally made the connection, you corpse-meddling filth. Is this all a reference to Eternity and Okina actually being somewhat of a rivaling faction? Listen, this is a calamity of my own making. This false god is indeed related to Okina Matara. Pursuing the connection caused this butterfly-like thing to stray this way. Oh, listen to you. Are you certain you want to do this? I am. I'll destroy you in Uzumasa's stead. You're an imperfect being that can only make Bunrai. We'll see who's laughing after I squish you like the grub you are. We'll assist you, Miss Sega Nyan Nyan. We are part of the same god as our master. The god of eternal night can't beat us. You too. Is this a remix of Eternity's theme? I wonder. Eternal Night God's Bunrai? Question mark? None of you resist fire, and that's good. Actually, consider we actually have to fight seriously. Is anyone here weak to wood? No, but you resist wood. And you only have wood. So maybe I shouldn't use your spells at all for this round. What do you have? You have fire on everything, so I guess you can attack. Oh, you're weak to star and you have star. Letting Reen take quite a bit more damage than she should. Now we have two characters who are weak to wood. So this was the correct choice, not letting you do your thing just yet. And then we have Sega. Yeah, that was a mistake. Could have used at least one spell with someone. Okay, middle one is weak to earth, which seems to be what... Actually, we have one that is weak to wood, one that is weak to fire, and one that is weak to earth. Seems this is perfectly made for the characters we are supposed to have in this fight. Actually, she also has a water attack that hits everyone. Guess we can use that to clean up if necessary. I should have slowed down the game. Oh well. There's no cleaning up anyways. This went well. Sega, where are you going? Now we have Byakuran. Actually, we didn't actually fight Eternity herself. I realize. Miss Wakasagi-hime, Miss Sekibanki, help us out. Sure thing. Seka, Miss Kagero. With pleasure. I don't know if she really hails from the Age of the Gods. Her skills seem to confirm it. Her magic? It's perhaps best described as enormous vitality transformed into a massive force of death. Fairies are supposed to be like masses of life energy. That's why what Li Huan and the rest were searching for was the vitality of this fairy. But now, this isn't a fairy, but a death god of eternal night. If there's so much death energy, then it's possible that there's vitality in equivalent quantity. This may be proof that a large vitality sleeps ahead. Thank you for protecting me as well. We now know for certain that only the minds gathering within you hold the final key. I also have some concerns about Li Huan. Can't afford to lose you both now. Miss Sega. This is all for Lady Toyosato Mimi. This has been a hard-fought battle, but we can still win this. Let's try attacking again. It's showtime! We'll show you a dance you'll never forget. Gah! Enough! Stop, we are done. What? Huh? Didn't I tell you that I only wanted to play? And now I've had my fill of fun. She's speaking normally again. I even got to see you looking all scared. Now, aren't you in a hurry? Why stick around here? Oh wait, maybe you didn't say that. We didn't, but you're right. If we can, we'd like to avoid any more fighting. Then, off you go. And that wasn't even a fight, just some goofing around. Just a prank. Let's go, everyone. Eternity Lava, let's play some other time. Sure, maybe when things are more normal. Let's hurry. Komaino, lead the way. Follow me! Miss Li Huan, come here. I'll carry you. Thank you. I'm going to make a few leaps. Clench your teeth so you don't bite your tongue. Oh, okay. She smells nice. Li Huan! Oh, right. I was wondering why I had so much power. But I guess it must be because they came down and caused it to overflow. Why is the immature form of the Sayo Ayakashi behind my shrine? Oh, I guess this is directly below its counterpart in the upper world. Terrain is formed by temperaments. The tree shifted here because the shrine is famous for its cherry blossoms. I'll believe anything at this point. In the lower world, anything's possible, as long as you control the right temperaments. You missed something interesting, but also nothing too related to the plot, I guess. Depends when you left. What about Miss Okina, Yoshika, and Miss Mika? I'm here. Sega Nanyan, I see you have returned despite making a successful escape. And here I thought you understood. I see you have brought many other guests as well. I see you have brought many other artworks we have not seen yet. The ceremony that is to be held here isn't meant for the eyes of the public. Thus, I find myself in a quandary. What's going to happen? Miss Li Huan, don't speak to Lady Toyosato Mimi unless she asks you to. Oh, it's quite alright, isn't it? I have such a memory in one of the minds inside me. But all of that means nothing right now. Little girl, I am Toyosato Mimi no Miko. Shotoku Taoist, Toyosato Mimi no Miko. You may also call me Prince Shotoku, Prince Umayado, Sage of the Filth Remover, or the Lord of Sages. Now, you two introduce yourselves as well. My name is Mononobe no Futo. The Shikai-sen from ancient Japan, Mononobe no Futo. I follow Lady Taishi's will in everything I do. I'm Soga no Torchica. Ghost of the descendant of the gods, Soga no Torchica. My fate is that of Lady Taishi, be it life or death. Now then, I'm here now as a divine spirit. I've been asleep for quite some time. But thanks to that, we have a better chance of preventing the catastrophe. Could it be? You mean to stop the Sayo Ayakashi? Yes, that's right. You may all put yourselves at ease now. I will stop the Sayo Ayakashi from returning to life. This is why I've woken from my long slumber. I'll tell you the truth. I've learned it by listening to the voices of spirits as I slept all these years. This yokai tree is the Sayo Ayakashi in its immature form. What it will grow into remains to be seen. For it depends on whether the tree absorbs the majority of its nourishment through its leaves or its roots. Through the leaves, it takes in the vital force of spirits from the upper world, while through the roots, it feeds upon the energy of the dead spirits of the lower world. Then, what I was doing until now? It's alright, don't worry. While you've been feeding it through its leaves, well, mostly flowers now, in the upper world, you were at the same time also sending the remaining parts of spirits to the lower world. The sages of the upper world were working to reinforce this, hence they operated the arena. On the other hand, the sages of the lower world were sending the spiritual energy of the dead to its roots. The vortex is a system meant to filter temperaments and allow pure death to be extracted. The sages of the lower world, including myself, are a system meant to supply energy to the roots. However, the tree couldn't absorb the dead spiritual energy no matter what we did. You know why, right? Because of the body buried there. Correct. The body possesses a great amount of sealing energy that completely blocks the roots. Then there's no risk that the tree will turn into the Sayo Ayakashi. No, not quite. The leaves may want to become something else, but the roots still long to be the Sayo Ayakashi. However, what the leaves want to become is something I cannot hear from the spirits as I am now. The clamoring of the roots to becoming the Saya Ayakashi is painfully audible to me, however. And the seal can be easily broken, simply removing the body would do it. That is, to summon Yoyuko Saiyoji here from the upper world and force her to face the body. When she does, she and I will be no more, whereas the roots will instantly absorb the energy once the seal is gone. The tree will manifest as the ultimate yokai, the Sayo Ayakashi, and without anything to restrain it, begin consuming everything until all life and death vanish from the world. That is how things will fall into place. Reimu, what's Lady Yuuko doing right now? Marisa and Sakuya have been restraining her until now, but she's suddenly gotten as strong as an Oni. She's heading for the cave, dragging along everyone trying to stop her. How can she pack so much power into that tiny frame? This is bad. Lady Taishi, do you know how to prevent this? I do. This is where Dance Master Hata and Seiga Nyanyan's Xiangxi girl come in. Puto, Torchico, bring them here. Yes, ma'am. Here they are. First, I attain the highest rank of Divine Spirit by absorbing Dance Master Hata, Puto and Touchiko. When I do, I will then receive the body of the Qiangxi. Once I do so, I won't be a Divine Spirit anymore, but rather revived as the living god, Prince Shotoku. You will be restored to life? Unbelievable. I will take the body's place, buried under the tree. There I will listen to the roots, keeping them asleep for all time. This is the only plan I could think of. All parties in question have agreed to it. It is best to keep our sacrifices to a minimum. I'm sad to say that I cannot think of anything better. Seiga Nyanyan, please understand. Had I learned all of this earlier, I should have come here on my own. I don't get any of the difficult stuff, but there's something only I can do, right? If it's for Seiga, I'm not scared of anything. So, it's like following your orders. What are you talking about? What are you? There's no time. We have to replace the body before Yuyuko Sayoji manages her descent. It's highly impossible that the roots will resist violently. It's too dangerous, so I need you all to leave. Now. That won't do at all. There may be another way. You mustn't be hasty. Toyosata Mimi no Miko. It took me an eternity to come up with this plan. This is the only way. You suggest you could do better? Release the minds inside of you. If they disperse and the memories return to their owner, your own ability may open a path to survival. My own ability? Oh. Perhaps I've been alone for too long. For all my listening, it's been a long time since I've actually heard another opinion. Regardless, none of you seem likely to leave, even if I tell you to. Releasing the minds will require a battle of bullets. I see it now. This too is a kind of alignment of interests. Indeed it is. Exchanging bullets is our only option. Come at me then, but remember, a Attack with such force that not a single mind will remain. Now, consider me a sorcerer who impedes Prince Shotoku's path of conquest. After all, it is my duty to prevent you from coming back to life. Filth Remover Sage, Ancestral Spirit Torchica, and Ancestral Spirit Futo. Is anyone here weak to fire? Yes, Torchica. While Futo resists it. Which makes sense, considering who she is. What elements does Byakuren have? Sun. Bum 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 bum. Futo is weak to sun. Miko resists sun. Okay. So I guess it's Byakuren versus Futo, Rin versus Torchica, and then we are gonna think about the person in the middle. Actually, she's weak to moon, so that's also a Rin thing to do. Sure, focus on me. Yeah. Okay, Torchica took a lot of damage there, so that's good. Can't really do anything with you, useful with you, so I guess you can hit Miko in the face. There goes Torchica. I guess both of them being on fire is helping quite a bit here. I guess in that case we're gonna get rid of Miko first. Now we have a sun attack again. Perfect. Will we need it? No. Vroom, 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 vroom. Nyan, 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 nyan. I guess they work quite well together. The one riding the motorcycle and the one riding the wheelbarrow. Also, we have a battle where we cannot bring any of our own people. And I guess we get another chance to try out Sega's attacks, as well as look at Saki's. That's nice. Although it is just a one-round battle. Who are we up against anyways? We need to fight Miko again. No! Xiaomo, please restrain yourself. If all is as the head priest says, the last minds will be released here. Mononobe no Futo, Soga no Torchica, and Lady Toyosata Mimi no Miko. They have the missing link memories within them. They have minds that even Lady Toyosata Mimi herself couldn't read. She couldn't? No. Her skill to read the past and future is more precise, the greater the 10 desires thrive in her target. With the last of the minds, you will regain all your 10 desires, and your past and future will become clear. This is why the head priest started her battle with Lady Toyosata Mimi. If their temperaments continue to disperse... But are there really 10 desires in me? I don't feel all that greedy. Your understanding of desires doesn't cover all there is to them. But putting that aside, the you, whom my mind remembers harboring 8 desires at best. That one lacked the desire to live and die. Or at least, that is how I perceived it. But I get the sense that you have these missing desires now. Do I? You follow the way of the sword. There is a philosophy about being prepared to die and bearing the shame of surviving. Choosing to live is an easy thing, but if you choose to die quickly, then you are just insane. That boundary between life and death is key. And I dare say I have some familiarity with such teachings. Hakurei. Being merely an imperial household teacher, I don't know if it's for good or bad. But at the moment, you possess a more than sufficient desire to live and desire to die. All because of your devotion to your mistress. Oh. Miss Torchica, I know this is a request from Miss Miko, but this isn't like you. Not like me, don't be ridiculous. I'm acting as I always do. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Huh? Lady Taishi's will is noble and absolute. There's absolutely no reason why I should doubt her. Yes, that is true. She is the legendary Prince Shotoku after all. But aren't you family? This is no way to interact with your loved ones. What? How dare you? I'm a retainer who swore an oath of allegiance to her liege. That's the reason why I hibernated alongside her. It would be a huge dishonor to say this was due to being family. Well, I don't think of Hichiri that way. And I'm sure you don't think of Miss Miko that way either. You're spouting nonsense. Spit it out, Torchica. Let your mind, your memories out. Ah. We got it spring much earlier than I thought. I was right to ask for your help. You're such a good child, Yomo. So where's this daughter of Fujimi, Lady Yuyuko? I think she'll come back to life very soon. We just have to wait, I'm certain. All I could do was entice death before, but now I can finally help someone live. And that's not all. The daughter of Fujimi will become one of us, since she won't have any relatives to greet her when she's revived. So we'll be her new family. We'll drink tea and few cherry blossoms every day. And we'll talk as much as we want too, right here in Hakuryokoro. A family? That sounds wonderful. Yoki was a bit too strict and hard to handle, but I did miss him once he left. I now realize he was part of our family here. But now is the time to celebrate the arrival of our newest member. Maybe she'll be even smaller than you, Yomo. Do you mean that I'll be her older sister? Yes, you very well might be. I can't wait to find out. New family member. What? Lady Yuyuko? No. Did I not make it in time? Where's Yuyuko? Was there an error in my calculations? No, that's impossible. Someone must have interfered. Run, Jen. Right here. I'm going to shape boundaries with the maximum possible output. Our target is the revived Saigo Ayakashi. My magical preparations are dubious at best, but I'll find a way to wing it somehow. Help me with the calculations. Maximum output won't be enough, so break the limit. Don't stop, even if your Shiki is going to burn off. That can be fixed. Just be ready for it. Understood. Yomo, run as far away from here as you can. I won't be able to look Yuyuko in the eye if I lose you too. Alright, wait, lose? If you see Reimu on the way, tell her that I'm sorry. Now let's go. Run, Chen. Yes, ma'am. Lady Yuyuko? The Saigo Ayakashi. Oh yeah! I'm not gonna waste any more A's. I'm not good at A's. Go A yourself. Ah! Yomu, are you okay? I've got you. Relax. But unfortunately, carrying both her and Lady Li Huan is a bit much. Miss Ibarakazen, can you lend me a hand? Of course. Come here, Li Huan. Take care not to let go. You're pretty high up. I'll hold on tight. No comment on how she smells. What a surprise. Please hang in there, Miss Yomu. A few more minds are going to come back to you. It's alright. I can take it. Futo, you must understand by now. Understand what? I haven't a clue what they are talking about. Well, you certainly seem like you understand. You're normally much more clueless. Art thou trying to ridicule me? Mocking my person is the same as mocking Lady Taishi. Thou shalt regret this. I think you have that backward. You said what the master should say when their retainers are insulted. Perhaps so, but I cannot. Oh, there's the unstudied nature I know. You were just hiding your true colors. Hast thou said what thou wanted to say already? Ouch! Calm down, Futo. We used to be friends. Were you? When? In another history, in another world, but still. Friends? With thee? If that's true, thou must have been one of those friends across the battlefield. Precisely, Futa. What? Sometimes we are at each other's throats, and sometimes we help each other. That's our peculiar friendship. What I mean to say is, don't go shying away now. There's no reason to. No reason at all. Here comes another one. What's the matter? Why are you crying? Huh? Where did that voice come from? I don't have a form, not one I can bring over to this world, as I can only relay my words. What? I think I know what happened. There's much more spring in this world than in others. Yomo-Konpaku, you lost your mistress, and now you're trying to lose everything else. Is that it? I'm assuming this is the same mysterious voice that talked to Marisa before she turned into Red Marisa? Yes, but Lady Yukari Giacomo will surely... You don't even believe your own words. It's impossible. This is much too fast, and she lacks the magic power to boot. On the other hand, the Sayu Ayakashi is now more splendid than it was in its prime. You have fed it well. But is it also the same voice that turned into Tiny Yukari, I wonder? So this was all my fault. No, there's no need for remorse. The tree is becoming a transcendental yokai and has never been seen before. This world, and all within it, will soon end. The same applies to this world's neighbors. It's like a fire that spreads from your home to everything in the city, reducing all to ash. Is that true? Why should I believe you? I don't even know you. Of course. I'm not suggesting that in the slightest. I'm but a wanderer between worlds, and I wouldn't usually have anything to do with a world such as this one. Nonetheless, I've come here for a reason. I'm looking for materials. Materials? Let me ask you one thing. Are you okay with this situation? Your mistress has already vanished. I don't think I need to spell the rest out for you. Oh, but I can't do anything. How about you cut a way out? Huh? What do you mean? I'm telling you to start cutting. Whenever a situation isn't going your way, cut it with your swords. But it's not... Wait, even if it was possible, I'm still in training. I don't have such skills. I would never make it in time. Then I'll provide you with a missing word. In return, I'll take the materials I want from this world. That makes it worth my while too. If you agree, then why not make a deal? What do you mean by a missing word? And what does it have to do with my sword skills? You can start everything anew by cutting through time. You could save Yuyuko. I'll provide you with the missing word that will grant you the new strength to do so. Stop being so cryptic. You want me to stray from the path of the sword. I couldn't do nothing. I have no time. You misunderstand. This will not change your ability, nor ask that you rely on anything other than your swords. It is merely a means of enabling you to face this situation with the sword skills that most definitely belong to you. The missing word will grant you the power to do this. This all sounds ridiculous, but I don't have much of a choice either. I will put my faith in this missing word. Well said. I approve of your decision. My conditions are twofold. I'll provide you with 2 missing words, one for each of those. There are also 2 things that mean much to you. Yuyuko Sayoji and this place, Hakugyokuro. It's my price. I shall pick 2 things as materials from those you value, excluding the 4 I just mentioned. 2? 2 of the things I value? Oh, you're getting cold feet? There's no time. You have to decide now. Right now. Fine. Have it your way. Give me the 2 missing words, and take 2 important things from me in return. Are you there? No response. Maybe it was just my mind playing tricks on me. Very well. Then I'll take the liberty to choose my materials. 2 things you hold dear. First, a close friend of Yuyuko Sayoji, who knew her in life, the greater yokai, Yukari Giacomo. Second, the roots binding Yuyuko Sayoji to this world as a ghost, the Sayo Ayakashi. And with that, they are now mine. Was that my memory? Not only Lady Yukari, but the Sayo Ayakashi too? Then what is that ancient cherry blossom tree then? Let's think about that later. But now we have to lay bare all of the mines. Miss Yomo, please just hold out a little bit longer. Yomo! It will be your own turn soon, Miss Li Huan. We're about to start shooting bullets at each other again. All of us? Why? Because the tide of battle is turning. Look. Oh, Kina, Yoshika. Tsuyomo's 10 desires and Toyosatami Miko's ability will unveil all the untold truths, eh? I'm truly surprised. You completely outwitted me, Seiga Nyan. Well, to put it precisely, was thanks to the head priest. But the credit for gathering all of us here goes to you. Yes, I suppose you're right. If Yomo keeps regaining minds at this rate, we should learn the much-needed truth. Aren't we running out of time? Indeed we are. We must clash the minds together more violently. I'll join the battle against Toyosatami Minamiko. Yay, Master has returned. We've been waiting for you. We knew you'd be back. Master, Master! Oh no, stop clinging onto me. But I do apologize for the delay. Wah! Can I hack Sega too? Of course you can. Yay! Looks like things are reaching their end. How do you feel about this, Miss Miko? What else can I say? Splendid. As you said, everything, even I, is becoming one. Perhaps this too is another form of peace. It's an awfully free form of peace. But nothing is set in stone, nor will it be until we reach a breakthrough, whether it's the truth or otherwise. Yes, our time is limited. Someone more competent than I needs to take the reins. No. Whoa. Saki, and you too, Kokoro. Out of all the many horses, you chose me. I'll always be thankful for that. I haven't forgotten the path I walked with you on my back. But in the end, I'm just a horse. I don't know anything about manners or the like. I just consider you my best friend. That's why I'm gonna hit you with everything I've got, you wimpy little prince who's afraid to croak. I don't have to hold back with you either. Prepare yourself. Mother. You're my mother. Thank you for making me. But I also consider Misukina a sort of father. When everything's over, I want us all to live together. But first, I want you to watch my Know of Darkness. Now that I'm all grown up. It's your duty as a parent. Of course, I can't wait to see it. I feel like it's been so long since we could fly free in a battle of bullets. Of course it does. We only just returned to life. After all, but enough of that. Let's dispense with such thoughts and let the bullets fly. I'm assuming their HP are higher than previously, but it seems the elements are the same. Actually, maybe they... no. I thought they maybe gained weakness, but I don't think they did. Anyways, Kokoro can do earth damage and star damage, so I guess we're just gonna do both. Sega does earth damage, if I remember correctly from previously. Which is good against Torchica. Oh, we used her earth attack earlier, but we didn't get to read what she says, so let's do it again. And we don't know what you do at all. You have star damage, fire damage, wood damage. Okay. And all your attacks are all targeting. Oh, I'm looking forward to you getting added to this game. So we're just gonna do this one first, because that one has a lot more hits on powered up state. Yeah, that attack. It seems like an interesting choice was made for what attacks to use for Saki. Her last spell makes sense for me, but I don't know which one I would have chosen as the other one. Probably her survival. Or triangle kick or whatever it's called. Anyways, we did lots of damage to Torchica again, but not so much the others. Oh, they have more barriers this time. Last time they had just 2, and this time they have 5. That's the main difference. Actually, I should just do a regular attack. All targeting. Anyone? No. It's all targeting anyways. Just use it. You get to use yours. Rip Torchica. Okay, we're doing decently well on getting Uto down. I guess you can heal. Mostly yourself. Because you can't do anything against Miko anyways. Or nothing useful at least. Let's break footer. That leaves us only with Lady Toyosata Mimi, who is a tough nut to crack, it seems. Don't think any of the dancers have attacks that hit her effectively. Maybe Okina does. First we're gonna use you once more, because you actually do have an attack that he's weak against. I guess you can use your thing once more too. Before you run out. Although I doubt that is gonna take her down just yet. Yeah. Guess we are just gonna switch everyone out because we are out of barriers anyways. Out of barriers and spells. I think Kokoro has one more because she used one round to not attack with a spell, but Speaking of fleshy attacks, there was Okina. Ah, there was Miko's attack. Also, you're almost dead anyways. So we're just gonna use the strongest we have with each of the three. Even though she resists most things we do have. Who's gonna get to kill her? I think that's enough. Victory for the Okina crew! And that ends episode 10, Ultimate Divine Spirit. And now, for the final episode of Act 3 of Chapter 3. Beneath the cherry blossoms, Miko's ability reveals the lost memories. Geno, Sunny, where's everyone? Yikes, there are so many people here. They're all quietly listening to a song. Say, Yomo. Yes, Lady Yuyuko? With father away, I thought we might speak freely. Do you know that large empty space on the grounds of the estate? The unnaturally wide patch left barren, as if all the surrounding cherry blossom trees had distanced themselves from it. Well, yes, there certainly is a place like that. Isn't it strange that it's the only spot where cherry blossom trees don't grow? Perhaps the soil is bad there, or something else that makes it unsuitable. Don't play coy with me. You are a gardener, so I'm sure you know something about this. I bet that open space is the most suitable soil for a cherry blossom tree in the whole estate. Look, Yomu. It did exist. This tree is so beautiful, it's almost otherworldly. All this time, it felt like the ground, the sky, the surrounding trees, and I myself knew about this cherry blossom tree that, for some reason, wasn't there. While everything else was. Like a lost lover, that tree was always in my heart. That's why I never ceased to believe that it could be resurrected, like someone who's gone. So I tried calling the tree back from inside of my heart, just like summoning a person's soul. I never would have imagined it would work so well. This must be because I used the technique for reviving the dead I found in Father's book. Probably. No, Lady Yuyuko. That's not true. If you really believe that, then you should be able to bring Lady Yukari back to life. say, Yomu? Why does everyone die? Father, everyone, they all seek to breathe their last under that cherry blossom tree. And then, that's what happens. Is this because I brought that cherry blossom tree back to this world? This needs to stop. I have to seal the tree. No, Lady Yuyuko. That's not true. That tree. It isn't the one called the Sayo Ayakashi in another history, nor is it the one you resurrected. That tree is a part of you. That's why it's beautiful, just like you, and also why it invites death, just as you do. I don't know if this will ever reach anyone, but I'm recording everything here. I have to believe that someone somewhere will find it. Ever since I received those missing words, I've been cutting through time, history, and eras. I used to believe that I would find an outcome in which Lady Yuyuko does not perish. Perhaps since I'm the only constant here, no one else from the Konpaku clan remains in this world. Maybe that this will always be the case, as long as I keep cutting everything but myself. Naturally, can't look to grandfather for help. The Sayo Ayakashi has been taken from this world, so Lady Yuyuko should have no reason to get a spring. But it turns out that she uses her own mind as the core to revive a stand-in Sayo Ayakashi. This keeps happening no matter how many times I reset things. Our mind must be too strong. Although there's no Sayo Ayakashi, Lady Yuyuko's love for flowers that borders on madness remains. This is her mind, and it's difficult to change. The stand-in Sayo Ayakashi that uses it as its core may as well be real. Thus, Lady Yuyuko seals it with her own remains, becomes a ghost, gathers spring, then ceases to exist. Fool that I am. It took me 49 cycles to realize this. So I decided to prevent the restoration of the stand-in Sayo Ayakashi. Thus, I sealed every method of restoring souls to corpses or bringing the dead back to life that I could find. By any means, fair or foul. The results weren't as I hoped. Lady Yuyuko's unbridled passion for flowers remained. Tormented with regret, she decided to end her life. As a normal human, however. When she dies as such, she doesn't become a ghost, but a regular phantom that joins the normal cycle of reincarnation. It is somewhat ironic that Lady Yuyuko, so obsessed with flowers when she was alive, doesn't become a ghost unless she seals the Sayo Ayakashi. 49 more cycles passed until I finally realized this. It took that long for it to sink into my thick head. I still remember the voice I heard then. The one who gave me the missing words. The roots binding Yuyuko Sayoji to this world as a ghost. The Sayo Ayakashi. The voice claimed it was something I held dear. When it exists, Lady Yuyuko gathers spring, then disappears. When it doesn't, she leaves me when she dies as a human. All I wished for was our daily life to continue. Nothing more. Now, I'm going to cut myself. and slice right through my entire being and recreate myself. I will become the stand-in Sayo Ayakashi. By doing so, I can remain in that fated place. And when Lady Yuyuko becomes a ghost, I'll wake up. I'm doing this in order to regain my body after becoming the Sayo Ayakashi. So I will be able to live alongside Lady Yuyuko again. I have so many doubts. It's pathetic. Completely lack the spiritual energy needed to resist the Sayo Ayakashi. But I have no choice. If only there were another me to help. Well then, it's time. Aha. Konpa Ayakashi. Now it's all clear. This old cherry blossom tree is Yomu Konpaku herself. That's why there was no Yomu in this world, I guess. And the Yomu from a different world entered. The original Yomu, so to speak, the one native to this world. Set on taking her own life, no, on recreating herself, she went back to the Age of the Gods to carry out her plan. But I don't think she meant to go back so far. I surmised that the span grew longer with each cut she made through time. And I'm sure her ability to be capable of going back in time by cutting is not something that can be precisely controlled. The reason for this is beyond me, however. Anyway, what the original Yomu's wish brought to this world was me. The me from this world was speaking to me through minds. She told me how to cut through time, and about her obsession with saving Lady Yuyuko from disappearing. But all of that just seems so too selfish? Is that what you want to say? It does seem so when you think about the big picture. She cut away all the possibilities of the Sayo Ayakashi existing. So she could have left Yuyuko, who was tormented with regret, to pass away as a human and not return as a ghost. This was a certain effective way to keep this world going round. However, it isn't true. It wasn't like that at all. Wasn't like that at all? You can't be serious. When I think now about how persistent the me of this world was in trying to save Lady Yuyuko, I sympathize with that, which is why I accepted the mines, why I arrived here through trial and error. But it's not right to weigh your own desires against all who dwell in this world. And yet, I can't change what I feel in my heart. If I can't live together with Lady Yuyuko, then normally, I would reproach you for not being able to suppress your emotions. But this isn't the time. You can't change what you feel. Just don't lose your composure. Stand firm. Without the presence of the ghost Yuyuko Sayoji, Gensokyo would have grown distorted. I'm sure Yukari Chakamo would have done the same as you if she were here. It is your attachment to Yuyuko that has kept this world hanging on by a thread. You should be proud of your devotion. Thank you. And you're right. This is no time for crying. No, it isn't. Our situation has grown very dire. If that ancient cherry blossom tree was born from the conflict of wills between Yomo Konpaku and Yuyuko Sayoji, and there is no way I could be a suitable replacement for the body beneath its roots. Also, though we needed to play our parts to reveal the truth hidden within the minds, the fact of the matter is that we have almost no spirit power left. In this way, I too overextended myself quite some time ago. If only I'd foreseen this outcome. No, there's no use crying over spilled milk. If I'd used the Shikaizen technique Seigen Nyan espoused, I may have been able to revive as a living god. Then I would have at least had physical strength left once my spiritual power was exhausted. But no, I suppose it was never going to be that easy. The Shikaizen technique needs a sturdier tool than the human body to act as a vessel. Amidst these raging temperaments, we may have ended up turning into Tsukumogami. Our only recourse was to directly turn ourselves into spirits with Dance Master Hata's plan, the Soku Shinbutsu technique. Nothing else would have worked in this world. All that's left to us is Yomu, your... Huh? However, the situation doesn't seem willing to wait for us. Let's proceed to the Sayo Ayakashi. There's no escape for us anyway. Li Huan, keep to the back, okay? Thank you, Miss Cousin. I wonder what will happen now. Yuyuko is on her way from the upper world. Can sense the Tango and Kappa keeping a close eye on her. Yuyuko's love for flowers contained within the stand-in Sayo Ayakashi should react to the arrival of her ghost. Can you see any signs of this? Like the shape or color of the tree changing? One can only hope it's something that simple. The wind. The flow of temperaments has stopped. What a strange sensation. This does not bode well. I see someone. Is that Miss Yuyuko? Yuyuko's will, dwelling in the stand-in Sayo Ayakashi, is exposing her body to welcome her ghost. At this rate, Yuyuko will vanish as soon as she touches the body. Then the roots will be released. The Sayo Ayakashi will instantly return to life. And that will spell our end. No, the end of everything. How should I put it? I know the situation is dire, but I can't help thinking that this body... She's so beautiful. Is this her 10 desires colors? I know it's a different artwork than they usually use for Yuyuko. Lady Yuyuko. Lady Yuyuko. Lady Yuyuko. Lady Yuyuko. Oh no. For Yomu this is the form of Miss Yujiko she lost by her own doing. Don't touch it. The remains of Fujimi are the boundary between life and death that seals the roots. Well, go ahead and touch it, if you have a death wish. I don't mind helping you join the procession of souls being absorbed from its roots. Yuka Kazami? It certainly looks like her. No, perhaps looks aren't the only similarity. I am indeed Yuka Kazami. Flower Master of the 4 seasons, which includes spring. Yuka Kazami. I'm a yokai who loves flowers, grows flowers, and lives among them. That's the extent of my existence. And for that reason alone, I've chosen to be the Sayo Ayakashis who are poor in this world. It's who are poor? Are you saying that you are the Sayo Ayakashi's interface? So you're supporting the Sayo Ayakashi on a whim? Not for any real reason, but just because you feel like it? Yes, that was all my nature required when I was a yokai. While you spent thousands of years over and over again racking your spirit brains for a solution, I was here beside you, simply loving flowers with every ounce of my being. Nothing more, nothing less. The flow of temperaments has stopped. It means there's enough, and the flow is no longer needed. I'll randomly choose divine spirits from those drifting about, such as you right there. Oh my. Could this mean I share a deep connection with these most disastrous sisters? No. Are they the sister goddesses? Koan-ten and Kiso-ten? Or maybe they are flower spirits, the common fleabane and daisy fleabane. Yes, that would make them perfect for me. I think they are just the antinomy of some common flowers. Can think of me as a god or a flower, I don't care. It hardly matters when I'm practically working as a mercenary. But call me Jun Yorigami. The most despicable and disastrous younger twin sister, Jun Yorigami. That's my core mind, you see? I don't care about any of this. I just want to wrap this up fast, so we can go home. Anyone who gets in the way of me, Shion Yorigami, will be treated as an obstacle. The most despicable and disastrous elder twin sister, Shion Yorigami. Just being awake makes me hungry. Can't bear such misery. Flowers are the fervent fantasies of plants. Roots gather earth temperaments, which determine the color of their blossoms. This is their fleeting festival. Now I do believe it is time we fight. Sukina, Miss Miko. I'll take care of this. No, you can't. Why not? None of you have any spirit power left to fight. It's my turn now. My turn to fight for those who protected me. Don't be so hasty, especially when you are aware that you've been kept safe all this time. You'll understand soon enough. I know you will. My ears can hear more than the past. do you mean? Just have to wait for the right moment. To buy you enough time. Li Huan, can I rely on you? Yes, of course. I'm not sure if I can do it though. I know you're doubting yourself right now. I'm much the same. But we won't let you throw away your life. Am I right, everyone? Of course. I'll find a solution in spite of the odds. It shames me that I have to rely on the dance master here, but if this is Lady Toyo Satomimi's wish, I'll comply. I'll muster my remaining power and go assess the surroundings. Maybe I'll come across something we can use. That's how it is, Yomu, Li Huan. Yomu, leave it to me this time. I'm sure your turn will come soon. Alright. Miss Li Huan, I'll leave this to you. You can count on me. Good. Now then, Li Huan, all you need to do is buy some time, no matter what. This is nothing more than a contest of strength. In terms of a ritual, would compare it to sumo wrestling. But it won't end, even if you defeat us. Maybe I'll just call upon a divine spirit related to sumo for the next battle. Sayo Aikashi's Flower Soul. Hime June Flower. Harui June Flower. Will the cat be enough? Well, Miko is also there, but... Weak to Moon. Weak to Moon and Fire. This one could be a problem. Well, all you flowers are now on fire. Hope you like that. How much damage did we do to each? Most to June, surprisingly. Not June. Shion. Haru Shion. Were their names actually puns on these flowers? I never really thought about the title of the game being related to them in any way. But I guess that makes a lot of sense. They are. Interesting. Learn something new from this game, of all things. You are very on fire, all of you. Well, you are the least on fire, because you are weak to fire, so it also breaks your barriers. But this means I can now break you completely. Which is a very fun thing to do. Was somehow fitting that the singing in the short singing in the song was at the same time as June's. Wow, Shion's word littering attack. Guess I'll have to use my last spell on you. And then it's just cat scratching to the end. I guess she's angry that she's the only one left. She resists moon, so really, fire punch is all I can do. Well, she doesn't do too much damage, so unless she gets a spell out... Actually, we might just kill her this round. Especially if we get some more power. The cat was fine too. All we needed was a little bit of Orin. Is that all you've got? How disappointing, this little cat. Well, what did you expect? Our supply of spirit power is practically limitless, you know. We've got unlimited continues, so we can try things over as much as we want. June, you're breaking the fourth wall. Yeah, good thing I'm on our side. Now that you know you can't win, just give up. I can still fight. No, Li Huan. We'll take it from here. You need to rest a bit, Miss Li Huan. I'm afraid I do mean only a bit though. You're one of our aces in the hole. Cannot afford to lose you. Saying you're going to sacrifice yourself. Can't say I like this idea. I don't like how you're trying to do this without me. Yuka, stop it! Oh, medicine. Why not make me, if you have some complaint about it? But poison is not the only weapon plants have in their arsenal. You stand no chance against me. Ah, Alice, I sympathize with you, trapped by your role in all of this as you are. But that will end soon too. And when it does, I'm sure we'll meet again in another galaxy. Just how much do you know, Yuka? No, this must be a form of phantasmal sight you obtained information by being in contact with the Saiyo Ayakashi. I want to defeat Yuka and make her rethink what she's doing. But I don't have enough power. There has to be a way. People! Miss Yomu, Miss Li Huan, Miss Okina, and all the rest of you. That voice. I, Aya Shameimaru, will now deliver my report. I've got good news and bad news. I want to hear both, so make it quick. That's the spirit. First the bad news. Since I'm here, you've probably already realized that Miss Yuyuko will also be joining you soon. Reimu and the others are doing all they can to hold her back, but they can't do so for much longer. Now for the good news! That's your cue, Miss Eternity Lava! I got this feeling that something wasn't right. It was so familiar yet strange too. So I asked Miss Aya. She confirmed my hunch. Even if you have some secret backup plan, it will never be of any help from that distance. You'll never make it in time. In fact, I believe I'll put an end to them right now. Each one, release the cherry crystals. Temperaments of the lower world gathered around you. That means their temperaments are there too. Oh, those cherry crystals are the last traces of memory the fairies left as their lingering attachment. They are crystallized minds. And those minds surely can become the cores of spirits. What? Fairies, please help us! Alright, folks. Kick their butts and make it snappy. What? Here we go. What gaps? They're just fairies. Why are they so strong? It's not only their strength. There are more of them than it would appear. Go, go, go! Push them back! There's so many fairies. Okay, I have to give it my all too. Why are you... Oh, no matter. This is a time for putting our best foot forward. Now, Namu-san! Fairies, we will follow your lead with what little power remains to us. Onward! We'll follow your lead, for what little power remains to us. Onward! You're being driven back! Keep it up! Huh? This is the first time you've met me in this form, is it not, Li Huan? God Summoning Shaman, Reimu Hakurei. I think I get it now. What's going on? I've stopped time. Or its concept, to be precise. But don't worry, it's more of just a temporary pause. Once I release my grip, time will move again. Whatever, we can't just leave her like this. It's clear that... Nothing is clear. Especially now, don't you think? I doubt we'll come across someone more suspicious than her. For starters, we only managed to meet her. A coincidence? No, we cannot assume that. Of course, I am by no means implying that there is a reason for everything. But it was fate that led us here. Although it seems unlikely, I still need to ask. Are you responsible for the LostWord incidents? There are some things you should and should not say, but I'll let this slide for now. We aren't the ones under suspicion. You are. We might give you the benefit of the doubt, if there were potential suspects all over the place. But after traveling through worlds, upon worlds, upon worlds, we found only one likely culprit. You. You might think it's not fair, but I'd be more than happy to take you down without giving you a chance to defend yourself. For starters, any being capable of causing the LostWord incidents should never be human, could never be human. So there shouldn't be a problem if I crack their head open with my purification rod. Silence, Raymond. Feigning what you truly believe will only come back to harm you. Regardless of their origins, humans are humans and yokai are yokai. And just as you wish to protect others, they all have someone for whom they care. You should know that better than anyone. Yeah. With that settled, will you be so kind as to make us some tea, Ramo? Tea? Aren't you too carefree around the potential evildoer? That is because she's our very first suspect. I have to sit with her and observe her closely. We may have to do something that cannot be undone, you see. Perhaps I should just bring out a tea set from a gap. Huh? Yeah, now that you mention it, you should. Why ask me then? Now, don't be so upset. You may leave, or rather, go get some rest. Okay, fine. I'll take you up on that offer. So, Li Huan, please take a seat. A simple tea cushion, though it may be. Now, where were we? Ah yes, we were discussing whether or not we are behind the LostWord incidents. You seem to have judged for yourself that we are not. From our point of view, that's correct. Ramo and I have some friends in other worlds. We have traveled through many in our attempt to resolve the LostWord incidents. That was the purpose of your journey? That's exactly the same as us. Not so long ago, we examined the world where you apparently resolved the LostWord incident. All we saw certainly indicated that the incident had been resolved. While hard to believe, we had to accept it. The Marisa of that world even provided a testimony. She also mentioned your name. The Marisa from the world of the Scarlet Devil Tower. You're traveling to resolve the LostWord incidents, just as we are. I would like to believe that. However, we cannot trust you. Why not? I wouldn't try to resolve incidents if I were the culprit. You've lost your memory, or more specifically, your general knowledge remains, but you do not remember anything about yourself. I had an inkling of this fact in the back of my mind, but after investigating a certain world, I became sure of it. Well, what you say is true, but why not ask me about it directly? Do not forget that you are a suspect. Anything you would tell us is subject to doubt. Right. No. This is far too odd a reaction for someone who maintains they are innocent. Goodness, you're making this difficult for me. But I suppose that can't be helped. Firstly, what if your memory loss is itself a lie? Huh? You cause a lost word incident and resolve it on your own. We are taking into account a possibility that you may have an ulterior motive for stirring up trouble and then getting credit for solving it. Yes, it's to make friends all over the world. But aren't these incidents meant to destroy worlds? Destroy worlds? Now why would someone want to do that? I don't know. I think, in all likelihood, you have truly lost your memory. If not, you're an absurdly skilled actress. At any rate, destroying or ruling the world is a motive normally found only in novels and the like. No one would ever do such a thing unless they had another goal that could be achieved through doing so. Like, say, for fun, at the very least. Destroying worlds for fun? That was merely an example. But fun would give you some impetus to overcome difficulties, would it not? That is to say, any obstacle standing in your way of achieving your purpose, which you must be ready to encounter. Yes, of course you must, for destroying a world will never be easy. Why, one has to wonder how many would oppose you with every fiber of their beings. Do I look like I'd willingly torture myself like that? In a sense, yes. Excuse me? I would sacrifice everything to resolve this incident, and you too strike me as someone who hides a readiness to forfeit all for the sake of their purpose. Well, I don't think I'm that strong of a person. But the fact is, you don't even remember if you are that kind of person or not. It is not my intention to speak ill of you. I simply can't help but voice such thoughts when I ponder your nature. If we assume you have lost your memory, then that would put you in a position equal to my own. What do you mean? I mean that neither you nor I know what kind of person you were before you lost your memory. Since, for whatever reason, the lost word incidents do not seem designed to destroy worlds. But in the world of the Scarlet Devil Tower, right, that world was perched on the precipice of doom. Not for the lost word, it would have been safe. Or so appearances would lead us to believe. I don't think I follow. Don't worry, I simply mean in general, whether we try to save them or not. All worlds will end someday, that's all. But let us speak of this world, of the Hakurei arena. It was always meant to fall. What makes you think so? I know everything you experienced. That was one of the reasons I wanted a sample of your soul. Oh, did I upset you? No, I just wish I was as determined as you. Oh, Li Huan, you are such an idiot. Did you come all this way just to insult me? Come now, I was only teasing. Now, where were we again? Oh right, Hakurei Arena. This world was bound for the void. But then the mastermind came along and planted the lost words, giving it a chance at survival. Were they attempting to save this world? I think not. For the culprit, changing this world's fate is nothing more than an unintended byproduct. Yeah, they came here because they wanted something from it. Two things in particular. The true purpose is to acquire materials. Perhaps something akin to an interworld organ transplant. So Reimu, Miss Yukari and the three weren't just stolen. Maybe they were missing in another world and she needed them there. Whether it's a human, yokai, or another being, or even an inanimate object, notion, or law. None of them are the property of anyone, anywhere. Even in the case of things made by someone, they may be transferred, traded, inherited, or at times copied. The ownership is fluid by nature. You understand that much, correct? Yeah, you can only really trade something under a rainbow moon. As far as I understand. Yes, more or less. Though fluid, transferring ownership requires special conditions. If ownership just changed on a whim, no one could amass any assets. Any concept of wealth would collapse. I wonder if this was written before Marketeers or afterwards, because if it was written before that, that would be really funny. That's why transferal of ownership is a special moment, a festival that marks an ending point called a market. Festival, mate. Do you mean an incident? Oh yes, precisely. The culprit causes a LostWord incident so that ownership is temporarily abandoned from the world. Because I know we did have references to unconnected marketeers before, but that might have just been the demo. Because I think the only thing we heard so far was that cards were being used. This enables them to then snatch away pieces of these worlds, such as humans, yokai, or concepts. That's why they don't care what becomes of the world after the lost word occurs. Then the culprit wouldn't revisit the scene of the crime. Can't you believe that I'm innocent now? Well, I'm certainly willing to consider it. You possess the ability to resolve the lost word incidents. Thus, there must be a reason for you to visit worlds after they have been affected by lost word incidents. And by resolving these incidents, you can achieve a goal that remains unknown to us. This one detail demands that I doubt you, at least until a more convincing suspect appears, that is. We've been seeking someone who could meddle with lost words, but we did not think anyone could resolve them. Which brings us to the next question. Can you actually resolve the lost word incidents? Didn't you just say yourself that I can? Yes, I did say something that could lead to one to believe that. That is not precisely what I meant. In principle, there is no retrieving a lost word. Once the incident occurs, it becomes impossible for the world and anything in it to recognize the lost word. I really wonder what the lost word for this world is. Because I'm sure we must have had some hints towards it yet. And the last one was pretty obvious. We can no longer speak it or write it. This is why your deed that apparently resolved the lost word incident might be fabricated in a manner that just makes it look like you have done so. That's not true at all, not one bit. Is it though? Maybe you just made another hazardous modification to the world so that it looks like it was resolved. After all, this is something that only you can do. We have no way of proving you false. Why, I'd even say this is a true occult phenomenon. So, what do you want from me? I am by no means saying that the you here with us now is deceiving everyone. You don't look like a person who could do such a thing. But we need to consider your vanished memory. Say, Li Huan, what kind of person do you think you were before you lost your memory? I don't remember. Of course you don't. Never mind. I'll tell you what you can do. Find the lost words of this world. Plural. Well, I was planning to. Yes. Have you found them? No, not yet. Which reversed many worlds under the assumption that lost words could not be found and thus the incidents unresolvable. We accepted the lost words, and if they were causing a world to collapse, we prevented that from happening. That is the sum of our journey thus far. As for your recent actions in the lower world, we would have done much the same in your absence. Really? Yes. In order to preserve this world, we feed sufficient vitality to the Sayo Ayakashi in its immature form, it will become an altered Yomu Konpaku. In short, the seal on the Sayo Ayakashi will not be released and Yuyuko will not perish. The issue is the amount of vitality needed. Where could one possibly find such a massive supply? You believed you'd find this deep under the roots of the Sayo Ayakashi, and so you came all this way. But we haven't found it yet. Oh, I beg to differ. What? Your assumption that this massive supply lay buried deep underground was a slight error. Specifically, there was a key. Only once obtained does the suitable vitality awaken to its mission. So, though you made an error, you weren't wrong. Spring can't really be the lost word, because people have been talking about gathering spring. In particular, Yomu, right? And if they can talk about it, then it can't be lost. Without the key, the vitality will never be released. The key was the mines revealed by Toyosatomi no Miko's ability, and the enormous mass of vitality built up via untold repetition of history. Are all souls of the dark Yomu Konpaku and her many sins. Wait, what? Yomu's souls? Or the equivalent thereof. They may be the same people of different worlds, but the definition fits. Yomu's familiarity is on another level. That's why she was receptive of the minds of this world's Yomu. Simply speaking, she isn't supposed to offer up these souls, but to receive her minds and know her own destiny. And once aware of this fate, she must follow it. Otherwise, restraining that great yokai tree formed by her sins would be all but impossible. But if Yomu sacrifices herself, she won't come back. No, she won't. She's different from those others who made the sacrifice in the past. Yomu's souls are strongly intertwined with the threads of karma forming this tree, and cannot be separated. In fact, that's precisely why the souls offered up in the past can be driven away. This is the minimum sacrifice, the most certain future for a world where the lost words are accepted. In the light of all that you've told us, I am most curious to see what course you'll take. So, what will you do? I'll find the lost words. I see. Yuyuko's remains will soon be forced back to the Sayo Ayakashi's roots. The recoil will surely buy you some time. Use it to find the lost words, if they can indeed be found. 2 materials have been taken from this world, which means there are 2 lost words. 2 words capable of transforming this entire world. Recover them. Oh hi. Everyone should be in the lower world now. We have heard the word Gensokyo before, right? Because they keep using lower world and higher world. It's not netherworld and Gensokyo, right? Down there underneath this tree. I don't know if it will work, but I'll pray. Ultimately, it's up to the Sayo Ayakashi whether we live or die. I sense a presence. Oh ho! Aha! We are finally here. I've had enough. I'm exhausted. Should have never served as your compass. That was indeed a long, long voyage. We had to work so hard not to be swallowed up that it turned into a real battle of endurance. What amazes me even more is that this pagoda could actually function as a boat. It was reckless to use the connections of the Buddha related to the pagoda and the huge treasure related to Bijou Mountain. Yeah, well, the seeds of unknown form couldn't produce such crazy results on their own. Or maybe they could. But we arrived here safely, so all's well that ends well. And our standard engine and hull were both made possible. Thanks to the miracle mallet. But Seija, flipping and adjusting the force that was drawing us, did allow us to save a lot of actual reviving force. I thought I'd have to use up all the Oni magic again for a second. It was close. I tagged along in the confusion. Why did you tag along in the confusion? But maybe that wasn't the best idea. I tried resisting, saying that I'd never go to some strange world. But it looks like we ended up here anyway. Just as I suspected, it feels like we've reached our final stop. Now, what to do? What's our plan, Seija? And yeah, Shinmyomaru could be a lot smaller. It appears this world is on the brink of ending. Haha, sweet! I think I'll just end this world then. And that's the cliffhanger you leave us on, huh? Well, when Seija says she'll end the world, that means she wants to save it, right? Anyways, we are now waiting for the next main story update. Oh, this is above Rin's level. Well, I know that Sega, no, what's her name? Sagome is the one that speaks the opposite of what she says, but Seiya also does the opposite of what she says, so she could very well be planning to save when she says she's going to end. Rin back in the bin. Well, no, not in the back in the bin, just back in the back row. I still want to level her up if possible. Actually, not full auto yet. I have to turn on the speeder. But yeah, the story has left us with interesting cliffhanger. I'm assuming those 6 traveling in the pagoda, possibly either they shrunk themselves or raised the size of the pagoda, came from a different world like the fairies did. At least that's how I understood what happened there. Or they were spirits that were revived now that the weird temperament vortex has ended, but that doesn't make too much sense. Especially because they talked about traveling, unless they just talked about traveling down there to the tree. But I don't really think we have too many clues as to what the lost word is, unless it's one of the 3 things we said: Spring, Gensokyo, or the Netherworld. Well, it's supposed to be 2 things anyways. It's difficult. Also, Yuka getting revenge for getting beaten. We have heard information that the next main story chapter is in works already, and it will be less work than this act of the story was. So it will probably not take as long between the story chapters as it did last time for them to translate them and put them into the game as soon as possible. But in the meantime, with the update the game received yesterday, they did add another bit of story for the Hifu route of the game, or Hifu LostWord. So we will be doing that next time we stream this game. I'm quite excited for that, because it also means we will still have at least one more stream with actual gameplay in this game before another event can happen. And yeah, this was very huge, although I'm not sure if the point where I stopped last time was actually the midpoint, because I think last time it took us longer, right? Then again, today started with what essentially was a recap, which was pretty helpful. Also, Yugi is being a bit of a problem right now. Because now we have no spells left. Stop auto battle. We need to actually look at our health. Okay. Resume auto battle. Yeah, last time was at least 1 hour, 1 hour longer. And there won't be... Well, one thing, doing these stages won't take an hour. And I'm also not necessarily planning of showing them all on stream. Just started doing them while looking back at what we did, I guess. I'm still a bit sad that we are forced to do these playthroughs on stream on normal mode instead of hard or lunatic. Would be far more interesting, I feel, to do them on lunatic, where some actual strategy is required. At least sometimes, for the harder battles. Not necessarily for these parry encounters, which even on lunatic are sometimes easily auto-battled. Especially when you put more than one Yuka flavored person in the front row. That was a really weird way of saying this. A person with equal or higher power than Yuka in the front row. I doubt anything in hard mode will resist her too much, unless they resist both her elements somehow. Or they are called Yugi. I didn't actually look if Yugi had any resistances to Yuka. The amount of front row power is more than one Yuka's. Currently it is one Yuka's. Oh, that's bad. See, that's already a problem. These guys had extra life bars. Torchica has 2 for some reason. I guess I can try, but it was not good. Multiple life bars is essentially the game's way of stopping you from auto-battling everything. Because on a one-round battle, full auto characters will use their last word, which means they can't use any spells afterwards. Actually, let's do the smart thing. Before Yuka dies. Yay, you have 1 HP left. Isn't that nice? Oh hey, we saw a Yoshika spell. I don't think we did at all during the playthrough earlier. And I think Rin leveled up. I might have been wrong. No, she is 65 now. Anyways, I need to be more careful with enemies that look like they might have barriers. Not barriers. Life bars. Oh, you thought that was rain spell? No. Then again, they do have similar... They use similar bullets, don't they? Oh hey, Yuka has the home field advantage now. This means a whole lot. Means nothing. Actually means this guy is being a pain. Because no, he's weak to sun. Why? He's weak to sun and wood. He's weak to wood. Why does he not take more damage? No, wait, we don't need to bury up again. Just kill it. Okay. Because he is strengthened spirit. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Makes sense as much as anything else. Okay, I don't need a barrier. I'm gonna break his barriers. And possibly just kill him anyways. Yeah. Okay, this one is super weak to Yuko, but you can switch back to her. So I guess we're just setting it on fire. Good, good. I'm actually quite surprised how well Rin's handling these enemies that are essentially on her level. Or above her level even. We are at the 70s now. But, as I am pretty sure I said at the beginning of the stream, Rin is actually a pretty good character, so it shouldn't be that surprising. They have life bars again. I checked early enough this time. No, 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 no. Yoshika cannot be poisoned, I remember that. But Sega can. We did gauge burst both of them. So this should kill Sega. Or not. Maybe I'm just wrong. Barely didn't kill Sega. Now we're just gonna blast you. And I think this should end this episode off. Yes, this ended episode 8. Hard mode. And I guess that's a good enough point as any to stop. Because I'm out of things to say about what we played today. And about what we will be playing next time. So, thank you for watching today. And we'll see each other again. Looking for lost words in another world. Yeah. Goodbye and good night.